Hello, this is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a beautiful day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And I want to shout out Laverne Penix, X3J, Veronica-2R, Stacy Miller, Jay Thompson, Barbara Johnson, and Samuel Williams. Thank you so much for the support you're giving my channel, and I'll shout out 5 more at the end of this broadcast. Today, I'm calling for all hard workers. This message is for Black immigrants who come to America and immediately start bragging about how hard they work, how disciplined they are, how focused they are, and how they outwork everybody, especially Black Americans. This message is for the ones who love to say, we work hard. That's why we succeed. Okay, let's talk about it. Because if you're really the hardest workers in the room, if your work ethic is so unmatched, if your discipline is so elite, then I have one simple question. Why isn't that same work ethic transforming your home country? Every time a conversation about opportunity or struggle comes up, somebody jumps out with the same line. We work hard. That's why we're doing better. They say it like they invented effort. Like Black Americans haven't been grinding in this country for centuries. Like the entire infrastructure they benefit from wasn't built by people who didn't have the option to leave. So let's get loud on the creek for a minute. Hard work is a basic requirement for survival in America. Everybody works hard here. Everybody hustles here. Everybody is trying to survive here. So when you come in bragging about hard work, you're not saying anything new. You're just saying it louder. And I want to tell you something, and I'm saying this with my full chest. The work in America has always gotten done. The work in America was done the 250 years before you got here. And the reason it might appear that you're working harder than everybody else, especially Black Americans, is because nobody has built a legacy for you, not in this country, and apparently not in the country you came from. And that's why it might seem that you are working so hard. That might be the reason why you're having to live 15 or 20 to a room, because nobody has bought any land for you. Nobody has prepared anything for you. So you're having to do everything from scratch. And here's a touch of reality. If your work ethic is so powerful that it changes your life the moment you land in America, why didn't it change the country you left? Why didn't it fix the instability, the corruption, the lack of opportunity, the failing infrastructure, the economic chaos, the political dysfunction? Why does your hard work only activate once you're standing on top of a system Black Americans fought to build? That's not a work ethic. That's a location change. Because if your work ethic is truly the magic ingredient, it should work anywhere. It should work in your homeland. It should work in your community. It should work in your own backyard. But somehow it only works once you land in a country with paved roads, functioning institutions, stable currency, legal protections, civil rights, labor laws, educational access, and a fully built infrastructure, none of which came from your hard work. You had to come 6,000 miles or more for your work ethic to pay off. Now, even you ought to be able to figure out something is wrong with that. America is not a blank canvas. It's a fully built house. You walked into a structure that was already standing. You walked into a system that was already functioning. You walked into opportunities that were already fought for. And who fought for them? Black Americans. Black Americans fought for civil rights, voting rights, labor rights, fair housing, desegregation, access to education, access to public institutions, and protections under the law. And these people came to this country and did not show any gratitude for Black Americans. They wanted to assimilate with white Americans. And then when white Americans say, you have overstayed your visas, your TPS status is up, you're here illegally, it's time for you to go home, Then they shift gears and try to blame everything on us. They start calling us xenophobic and we hate Africans. And why don't we fight the white Americans? Because they're the ones that are oppressing us. No, we're not going to fight white Americans for you. Black Americans fought for the very conditions that make America livable for you. So when you say you're doing better, understand the truth. You're doing better because you arrived in a place that was already built. You didn't build the foundation. You didn't fight for the rights. You didn't create the opportunities. You walked into a house that was already furnished, already wired, already plumbed, and already stable. And now you're bragging about how well you're doing inside of it. Why don't you go home and build that house? And let's talk about what hard work actually means. Hard work is not just effort. Hard work is effort plus opportunity, effort plus stability, effort plus access, effort plus a functioning system. If you take a seed and plant it in a dry, cracked soil, it won't grow. But if you take the same seed and plant it in rich, fertile soil, it flourishes. The seed didn't change, the environment did. And when you come to America and suddenly your hard work pays off, it's not because you're uniquely hardworking. It's because you finally landed in fertile soil. And that soil was cultivated by Black Americans. So here's the challenge. If you truly believe your work ethic is the secret sauce, if you truly believe you're the blueprint for success, if you truly believe your discipline is unmatched, then take it home. Take it back to your government. Take it to your economy, your infrastructure, your educational system, your communities, your youth, and your industries. Build your homeland into the first world nation you claim you deserve. Because if your hard work can transform your life in America, it should be able to transform the place you came from. Unless the truth is, your hard work only works on top of a foundation Black Americans already built. Now, let's be clear about something. America was built for white people, it was not built for Black people. We have had to make a way for ourselves here. And white people didn't make that way for us. We made that way for ourselves. And they sure as hell didn't make a way for Black immigrants. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful either. This isn't about disrespect. This isn't about division, and it isn't about attacking anybody's identity. This is about honesty. If you're going to brag about hard work, then stand on it. Don't weaponize it against Black Americans. Don't use it as a way to distance yourself from us because we don't even care anymore. But just don't pretend that you succeeded in a vacuum. And most of y'all are not doing that well anyway. You're just not telling the truth about it. So you're just trying to make yourself seem like you're bigger and better and badder than Black Americans when you're not. And I just want to lay this on you since you're trying to make everybody think you're doing so well. If America thought you were bringing any real value to them, they wouldn't be deporting you. Countries don't deport people who are adding value or who are adding something to their country. You're not. And that's why they want you out of here because you're not adding anything to this country that we didn't already have. So I just want to say, and I think I'm speaking for many people, if your work ethic is that powerful, it should be powerful everywhere, not just in a country Black Americans built. So to all the hard workers who love to brag, take that same energy back home. Take that same discipline back home. Take that same focus back home. Build your homeland up, strengthen your communities, transform your infrastructure, create opportunities where you came from. Because if you're really the hardest workers in the room, your homeland should reflect it. And the reason I feel so strongly about this is because I grew up in a community where people came through the second slavery and Jim Crow. And so I know what those people went through, even though I didn't go through that struggle. They went through it, and it showed in everything that they did, how they walked, how they talked, how they worshiped. And I am offended by people who come to this country and think that they are something special just because they showed up and worked within an infrastructure that those people built. That is why I feel so strongly about it. So anyway, y'all, I do want to shout out some more people before I end this video. So shout out to Tony Bone, 132, Kalia, 55, and this is at everybody. Nick Kemp, 3249, Vanessa, 3605, Samuel McMood, and Samuel McMood, and I think if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, please forgive me, but you are such a good supporter of this channel. Danielle Terry, 2138, Mark Brown, 4798, Lynn Will, 9946, Cheeto Rose, 732, and Mr. Brown, EMBA. Thank you so much for your support and have a good day.